Hey, what's going on? It's Gage here from the Football Friends podcast, and I am finally back from my holiday, so expect to see a few more videos in the next coming days. Thankfully, well, I suppose not thankfully, but as you may have heard, the Queen of England has passed away, and that has put a big halt on football for the next week or so, so it's going to give me plenty of time to catch up on all the videos I missed. And the other addition, if you haven't noticed already, I have purchased a video camera and am attempting to, show my face and things like that to try and make this channel a little bit better. But yeah, it took me a while to get the audio and video synced up correctly, so hopefully that looks all right. But anyway, I will get straight into it. One of the last videos I made was about Thomas Tuchel being sacked, which of course took me by surprise. And I did go through a list of potential replacements, and one of them was Graham Potter, who was the manager of Brighton at the time. I would say that he probably wasn't my first choice. I didn't necessarily expect it, but I actually think probably the best choice. Graham Potter is a hell of a manager. He did a hell of a lot with Brighton, and again, I think I said this last time that Brighton's players are very good, but they're not necessarily I don't know, they're not players that you see with a massive transfer fee. They aren't sort of tipped worldwide as being world beaters or anything like that. They're all good players, and Graham Potter has shown that he can get a lot out of players that people may doubt. So anyway, he has had his first interview as the Chelsea manager, and he said, "Yeah, I want to create our own history here." So he says that the aim is to create history by building relationships, respect, and trust within the squad. He's obviously met with Todd Boehly, the new owner. So yeah, so I guess they're saying that Boehly had hinted at Tuchel's replacement earlier on as well. And so, yeah, like Potter says here, this is the start of a new sort of period of Chelsea. So we'll see how it goes. He says the history of the club speaks for itself, but it's about trying to create that again in their own way. So, yeah, it's incredible. It's a huge honor. So, obviously, yeah, Graham Potter is very excited to be taking on this job. It is definitely a big step up for him, but I think he's certainly earned it. So, I have nothing negative to say about Graham Potter, but still am quite surprised about the sacking of Thomas Tuchel. And so, because if you look at the Premier League table here, courtesy of FBref, Chelsea are actually ahead of Liverpool here. So they do have 10 points from a potential 18. It's not the worst. It's slightly more than 2 points per game. So again, it still seems quite bold to fire Tuchel like this. And Liverpool have 9 points. So no one would ever dream of sacking Jurgen Klopp. So it's I mean, look, it's classic Chelsea. They're always going to be quick on the draw to fire their manager, but more on that in a minute, actually. So, but someone who's equally as confused as me is Chelsea legend Joe Cole. So he's saying that well, he's saying here that he thinks Manchester United will be kicking themselves after Chelsea made the wrong decision to sack Thomas Tuchel. So, of course, he's sort of saying that, Manchester United had the chance to sign Tuchel earlier on, but he's saying that we should have gone, and he's sort of trying to say here that we should have gone for Tuchel instead of Erik ten Hag, which, I mean, timing-wise, obviously, that doesn't line up. But, again, I think Manchester United are doing pretty well. I mean, we are one place ahead of Chelsea. We have 2 more points than Chelsea, so and Chelsea arguably has a better squad, so I don't know. It's a bit of a weird complaint, but But either way, I just choose this article because he says that Chelsea may regret letting Tuchel go in the way that they did. So it says here that Todd Boehly and Tuchel disagreed on a number of transfers, and I think one of them was actually Ronaldo in this regard, because I think Boehly wanted Ronaldo for the brand kind of thing, but Tuchel wanted to build, a young kind of squad and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, here it is. I'm happy to say that I think it was the wrong decision to get rid of Thomas Tuchel. He connected to the Chelsea fans and he won trophies. Yeah, he was in a difficult period, that's for sure, but getting rid of him was harsh. How was it handled? There's no good way to get rid of a manager, but I think the decision was wrong and they could have stuck with him. Yeah, I tend to agree with this. It wasn't even that long of a period. It was still 10 points. It's not like he lost 6 games. It's not like he lost all 6 games. He actually had 10 points. So it's not even that bad. I don't understand. It's crazy. So, yeah, and he says here that Chelsea fans are used to seeing someone of the level of, Conte, Mourinho, top managers and all this kind of stuff. That's why in that list, it was looking more likely to be Pochettino or, well, maybe he is. I mean, he'd cover BSG, but I don't know. He hasn't won anything. No trophies, but, I mean, yeah, anyway. So, or Zidane maybe is a better example. But he's saying to go for Graham Potter, he sees that as surprising. But he says he's actually quite excited about that because it suggests to me that they're going in a new direction and looking for stability rather than trying to cash in on the big names. And yeah, I feel for Thomas Tuchel. It's harsh because he's a top manager. I'll tell you who will be kicking themselves a little bit. Man United. I bet they wish this happened 3 or 4 months ago. So then, yeah, we could have cashed in on Tuchel and got him then. But I don't know. I'm happy with Eric Ten Hag for now. So, anyway, I alluded to this earlier. So this is, like Joe Cole was saying, Chelsea have a history of going for these top managers and then also ruthlessly firing them. So maybe this move with Graham Potter is a sign of something new. Because we have here, Chelsea dominate the list of 10 most ruthless manager sackings during a Premier League season. So we have Nigel Pearson from Watford, Sam Allardyce from Blackburn, Roberto Mancini from Man City, Mark Hughes from Manchester City. Now we get into Chelsea. So the first one we have here is Roberto Di Matteo. So Chelsea sack Andrea Villas-Boas and place assistant manager Roberto Di Matteo in temporary charge until the end of season as first team coach. So Chelsea win the FA Cup, they win the Champions League, and so Di Matteo becomes a permanent 2-year manager after this, right? But then so the shoddy defence of the European crown did it for the Italian, whose uncomfortable chat with Roman Abramovich came a day after the Blues were condemned to a Champions League group stage exit when they were defeated by Juventus. And Chelsea were third in the Premier League, 4 points off the leaders Manchester United, and then Di Matteo was sacked. Pretty harsh. And then so next up, Nigel Adkins, Southampton. And then so Thomas Tuchel is coming in at 4th here. So after spending 250 mil as well. So then, okay. And then we also have Chris Hughton for Newcastle, but then Ruud Gullit from Chelsea as well. So the wires between Ruud Gullit and Chelsea remain crossed as recently as April 2021. Former stated he believes he was stabbed in the back by the Blues, who mistook his frequent trips back to Holland to visit his sick mother as regular partying visits. So the decision was made to replace one player manager with another, Gullit for Gianluca Vialli in February 1998. And Gullit was astounded by this. And Vialli says he was amazed and confused as well. But Chelsea were third and in a genuine title race by this stage of the season. Claimed the so even then, they were third at the time He'd won the FA Cup 9 months before and guided Chelsea to Cup Winners' Cup quarterfinals and League Cup semis. But then they still decided to fire him. And then last of all in this list, we have Claudio Ranieri, right? So, I mean, yeah, wins the league with Leicester out of nowhere. One of the greatest upsets the last century of football, to be honest. Crazy, amazing that this happened. And then, but yeah, then they had not scored in 6 Premier League games, and then he was fired. I don't know if I would say that this one was harsh. It was probably about time. My theory was that Claudio Ranieri actually sold his soul to the devil to win the league with Chelsea, and then it's the sort of bad luck kind of just followed that. So, but yeah, okay. So I didn't read this article before I made the video, but it says here that Chelsea dominate the list of 10 most ruthless sackings. I mean, there was like 3 in there, and one of them was Thomas Tuchel. So I don't know. They had. I feel like there was even Chelsea had even other crazy ones. Like they fired Mourinho and all sorts multiple times. So okay. Anyway, that's all I want to say on that video. You know, congratulations to Graham Potter being appointed Chelsea manager. Be interesting to see how this goes. You know, I like Graham Potter, but I don't like Chelsea, so it's sort of conflicted on this one. But yeah, so either way, that's all I want to say. Like and subscribe to the Football Friends podcast. Expect to see a few more regular videos in the next few days. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Cheers.